I'm not a fan of these keep fit windows, so today we're going to fit some electric windows. This is the electric window kit that I bought from Euro Car Parts. So you get two motors, passenger and driver's side. They are actually marked left and right, so you know which one you got. A lot of wiring. A wiring diagram. 3 switches, that's 2 for the driver's side, 1 for the passenger side. And this kit also comes with a template for the driver's and passenger side, so you can make the cutouts and the door cards for the switches to go in. And that's what the electrical wiring diagram looks like. The only instructions it gives you is how to cut the templates. This kit is for Volkswagen transporters from 2003 onwards. Mine's a 2011, it's a T5.1, so this kit will be compatible. First thing we need to do is get this door card off. So this handle, just pull that up from the back, pull the handle off, pull this trim off the handle, and then you've got 2 Phillips screws in there, a T25 in there, 3 T25s at the bottom. Once them 2 screws are out, this handle just pulls off, you can leave them in place. Once all the screws are out, get your trim tool in the corner, and you want to pull it away from the van. Working your way around the door card. It's quite tight. And then it'll just lift up, and then unclip the handle. There's the handle, you just want to push this back to release the cable, and unhook it from there. There's also an electrical plug connector to remove for the central locking. Now the door card's off, this is the old mechanism that you can see. Won't need that. So you want to remove this and fit the new one for the right hand side, the driver's side. So there's 3 of these screws that are also T25. Take them out. As you can see, all these clips for the door card have remained on the door of the van, so I'll have to take them off and put them back on the door card when I refit it. Take that off. Get your new motor. This will only fit on one way. As you see, if you put it that way, it doesn't line up. If you put it that way, it doesn't line up. It sits in this recess here, so this little motor needs to go in the recess there and then refit the screws. It'd be good if that was it, job done. Your electric windows now work, but no, you need to wire it into there, through here, through this loom. Got to remove all these trims under the driver's footwell, passenger footwell. So let's get into that. Seven screws in total, 7 T20 screws. I'd say that's a bit excessive. Get that trim out the way. And then there's another T20 screw behind this little trim. Take that out. That should pull down. And I should have enough room there now to feed the wiring down and through to the passenger footwell. So there's 2 different ends to this long wiring loom. One's got loads of connectors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 connectors, and the other's got 3. The one with the most connectors is going to be the driver's side, because you've got 3 for each switch, 1 controlling the driver's window, 1 controlling the passenger window, and then the passenger side just has 3. So the kit comes with 2 of these electrical wiring connectors. They look like this, and they just plug into the motor. Next you want to poke a hole in this grommet to feed this wiring through. I'm going to go at the side there, I'm going to pull the wiring through there, up into there. Pull the grommet out and feed these connectors in one by one. You don't want to make the hole too big because you don't want any water getting in behind the window. And now I'm just going to feed all this through. So this is the passenger side that I'm feeding through. There's a lot of wiring here. It is fused as well, it's got a 25 amp fuse. And the earth, feed that through as well. And we're left with all this wiring for the driver's side. You sort of just got to fish it through. If you have a bendy pipe or something to feed through and pull it through with, you can do it that way. Or you just get your fingers in the left hand side, slowly feed this through. You don't want to snag any of the wiring, connectors or anything, because you will damage the wiring. Slowly feed it through. I'm going to feed it through there as well now. So you just pull this out. Look at that. Then we go get a cloth. As I was saying, just going to feed it through there now. There we go, coming through. Then you want to feed it into the body of the van and pull it through. It's now inside the van. There is an earth point just behind here that I can see. There's the inline fuse. I'm just pulling that through now with this red cable. Feeding it through as we go. And then the earth is the brown one there. Feed that through. Put the grommet back in. This wiring stays this side, and I need to feed all this wiring through to the passenger side. I'm just taping areas of this loom as I go to keep it all together. You don't want to get snagged anywhere, like I say. Same again for the passenger side. So remove my creative covers. And then just take the door card off. I don't want to jinx it, but the wiring looks pretty straightforward. Like I said before, you've got a ground and a power, which you get power from Ignition Live. I've already got power from the Ignition Live on the headlight switch, so I know which cable it is. I'll show you when I go back to that side. Move this side. L for left side, passenger side. Again, sit in the recess like that, put the screws back in. And then another wiring harness. So it's this black panel at the back, T20 screws. I've had this off numerous times, wiring different things, reverse camera, radio. So there's 1, 2, 3 screws holding this black panel in, T20s. That's the panel, get that out of the way. And I should have enough room there now to feed the wiring through and pull it through into there, into the grommet. So it's just the end with the 3 connectors on that I'm feeding through. If I had someone with me on the passenger side, it would be a bit easier to pass it through to them, but I'll feed this through now. Because the pedals are on this side, I've got to feed it above the pedals, around out the way, as you don't want it catching the pedals. These DJIs are quite good. I just started recording from my phone rather than getting out the van, moving around to the passenger side and press start recording. I'll show you where I'm feeding the wiring through in a minute. Let me just get it through first. Right, I'm happy that that's out the way of the pedals. Too big for this shit. Just gonna see if I can pull it through. Oh. There we go. For the passenger side, because there's no pedals in the way and nothing under the carpet, there is already wiring under this carpet, so I'm just going to feed it underneath the carpet and then through this side panel into the passenger door. There we go. Feed it through slowly. Now poke a hole in the grommet. Right, what have we got left then? What the fuck are they? I know exactly what these are, and they sit behind the motor for some reason. They don't put them in. Without this little spline cog wouldn't turn the window up and down, so I need to take this motor off. Luckily it's only 3 bolts. Good job I noticed it sooner rather than later. This sits in there. Right, now them spline cogs are fitted, we've got 3 switches and 2 blanks there for the door, you know where the old keep fit window winder was in. This is just to fill the hole. And some heat shrink maybe, 2 connectors. I should probably start looking at some instructions now. I don't know why these crimps aren't fitted, but you've got to squeeze this crimp onto the wiring and onto the cable for the motor window switch. Just like that. Same on the black cable. And then slide these into this plug connector. There we go. And they're the same orientation as the ones that are already fitted. Right then, looking at this diagram, there's two switches on the left, one on the right. That's because this is for a left-hand drive vehicle, so we need this side on the right. Looking for that switch with that orientation, which is that one there. So 1 and 2 is black and blue, black being 1, which is what I've just done. Black in 1, blue in 2. Then we've got 4 is red, 4 red, 3 brown, 5 black. Right, before I touch any of the live electrics on the van, I'm just going to take the negative terminal off the battery to discharge any of the electrical system. This is the earth cable, and you can see there's an earth point in there, so I'm going to use that body earth point there. It's just a 10mm nut holding that on. Get this cable, I need to put it in neatly as well. Slide that onto the earth point, put the nut back on. I'll sort all this cable out later, that's far too long that. I'll just cable tie it or something. Going to use these spade connectors that are used for wiring up my new radio. New crimping tool as well. See if that's any good. Perfect. Amazon, Black Friday. I'm just seeing which connector I need to tap into. Trying to find an ignition live, so that's 0 volts at the moment with the ignition on. We're getting battery voltage, so I need to tap into pin 2, black and yellow cable on the back of the headlight switch is ignition live. Battery voltage with the ignition on and no voltage with the ignition off. Right, I've just tapped into pin 2, which is ignition live on the headlight switch. So now I'm going to see if these work when I put the battery back on. Ignition on. Let's see, I don't know which one's which. Passenger side's working. There we go. Electric window kit installed. That's with the ignition on. Let me turn the ignition off. Nothing. Perfect. So that's what you need to tap into. So I've just rebuilt the inside of the van, refitted the trims, and now I've got the templates to fit on the door card. So this is actually the passenger side template, but because it's not a left-hand drive van, I need it for the driver's side, so I'm just going to mark that out and cut it with a Stanley knife. And there we have the new window switch surround cut out in the door card. I do want to fit some upgraded speakers at some point, so let me know in the comments what speakers you recommend fitting. Whilst I've had the door card off, I've fitted a piece of sound deadening, and then when I fit the speakers, I probably sound deaden the whole of the door. Before I refit the door card, I'm going to fit this blank to where the old keep fit window was fitted. Just a nut on the back, tighten that up. It's just to fill the hole. Now just feed the switches through, but I've got to find out which one is for the driver's side. Put the ignition on. Right, that one's for the front window. Front right is this one. Slide through from the back and they just push straight up. Like that. Finally, just refit the door card in reverse order. Make sure all the clips inside are lined up before smacking it on. And there we have it. That is how to fit electric front windows to a Volkswagen T5 or T5.1. We've got the double switch on the driver's side controlling the driver's and passenger window. It goes down and up. It's also illuminated with the ignition on and goes off when the ignition's turned off. We've also got these blanks fitted to hide the holes from the old mechanism. Now, I don't drive this van often enough. I actually love driving it, and I think I'm going to like it now that I've got electric windows, because last time I used it, I went to the ice cream farm drive-through to come to the passenger window. I had no button to do the window down. I couldn't reach the winder. I had to climb over and open the door to get my ice cream. But yeah, I'm going to use the van now for a couple of days. I'll run the diesel heater as well, because I think that needs running through, because that's not been used at all. I'm happy with the quality of these switches from Eurocar Parts. They're usually about £180, but they had a Black Friday deal on. They're £140 delivered next day as well, so that's quite good. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see on the van next, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Oh, I'm happy with them. It's one of the first things that I should have done when I bought the van. They look good, don't they? The position of the switches is just perfect for where your arm sits on the door card.